2, 3.
Yeah, we're tested out.
All right.
Can you hear Chris?
I can hear you. A little light.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, he's light to me.
Say something else.
Check, check.
I can hear you better now.
Good. Are we good?
Look, Ken's going to be mad, but I'm turning these volumes up a little bit because he checked these volumes off of his voice, not my voice and your voice. I like to be able to hear us, and this is maxed out, so.
Well, I'm quieter than you, so as long as you.
Yeah, but you're deeper than I am. You're quieter but deeper.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that. And good Friday evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bullet Grill House High School Sports Pregame Show. Craig Irwin alongside me, Brian Besh, Chris Moran on the far end here at Bullet Grill House in Point Blank, Texas. Right here off of 156. You can't miss us. Look for the American flag and everything here in the parking lot. Sitting out here on the patio, 6 big screens here at Bullet Grill House, and sitting outside where we're doing the pregame show. Now, it is Wednesday night when we're putting this on, and so we invite each and every one of y'all to come out and see us at Bullet Grill House on Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, pretty much every night. Every night. Chris, y'all got some new stuff on the menu. I was trolling Facebook. Actually, I'll stand corrected. My wife was trolling Facebook.
Sure, blame it on her.
No, it really was. Y'all got some bougie grilled cheese?
The bougie grilled cheese, yeah. So we've had a grilled cheese, and it does fairly well. So we decided to step it up. So we actually have a new menu starting tomorrow. So if you come in this weekend, you hear this Friday night, but it actually starts tomorrow. We're going to issue the new grilled cheese with the new menu, but it's got 4 new grilled cheese on it. Brisket with cheddar cheese, an Italian with provolone cheese, Italian meats with provolone cheese. Really good. Turkey mushroom Swiss.
Brian, what I'm getting out of this is last week we wasn't able to do the show here because I was in Little Rock.
Yeah.
And what I've gathered through all of this was we should have been here last week to be able to sample the new menu items.
Well, we went through like the entire menu last year, and it just tells me that we've got a new menu to go through.
I had to come up with some new things so we could try all. I gotta have enough so we can try all season long.
10 weeks worth, right?
Yeah.
12 weeks.
Yeah.
Dude,
and so
I'm in.
Are these more like cheesecake, or I mean not cheesecake, but cheesesteak type things, or are they just
true traditional grilled cheese on Texas toast? We don't use like little pieces of bread. This Texas, you got to use a thick piece of Texas toast on it, and full of meat, full of cheese.
Everybody likes a little thickness in Texas.
I can't wait.
Cheese.
Dude, I seen it on the menu on the Facebook, and you can find them at Bullet Grill House on Facebook. Give them a like. Y'all are on TikTok. Y'all on Instagram too?
We're on Instagram,
TikTok.
We're on Snapchat, but I don't think we do much on Snapchat.
Yeah, since Mackenzie's not here.
We do a little bit of TikTok, but we do a little more of our seltzer reviews and some beer reviews. We get a little crazy on TikTok, but it really Facebook and Instagram to really see the food stuff all the time.
So what you're telling us, people go to TikTok, see all the craziness.
Yeah, there's some craziness on TikTok.
Yeah, go to TikTok. Bullet Grill House at TikTok, or TikTok at Bullet Grill House. However you search, and just put in Bullet Grill House and it'll pop up. Yeah, it's pretty simple.
There's not many Bullet Grill Houses in the country.
A lot of football happened this last week as we kicked off the 2022 campaign of Texas high school football. Brian, y'all was in at the house in Livingston and got started there. I was on the road. I went to Liberty for the Cold Spring game, but Thursday night there was a lot of games that went on. The Woodlands were at North Shore. North Shore wins that one 49-21. Atascocita beats Dickinson 37-0. When's the last time you heard Dickinson getting shut out?
I'm surprised at both of those scores. The Woodlands isn't a team that gets blown out, and I think we all know how good North Shore is and how good they've been for the past, 20 years now.
Yeah.
But both of those scores really surprised me because either of those schools aren't schools that get blown out ever.
No, not at all. Humble Kingwood defeats Clear Creek 28-6. Summer Creek falls to Klein Kane 28-24. Klein at Fort Bend Marshall. Fort Bend Marshall wins that one 14-7. I bet that was a fun game to watch. Both of those teams made deep runs in the playoffs last year.
Marshall's always got crazy good athletes.
Evadale gets their first win since 2020
Really?
as they defeated Evadale 35-18.
Now, wait a minute. You said Evadale defeated Evadale.
No, Tarkington gets their
There you
first
go.
win over Evadale 35-20 Thursday night.
All right.
Their first win since 2020.
Yeah, and with a new coach down there, and you got to think they had to learn a new system on the fly, and
Yep.
it can't be easy.
Do you know the one game they won in 2020?
Is it Shepherd?
Cold Spring.
Cold Spring.
In Cold
St.
Spring.
Jack.
Yeah. That was the one game they won in 2020. They beat Cold Spring. Cold Spring went 2 rounds deep
And
in
then
the playoffs.
was it the year before or the year before that where they actually had a playoff run there?
2019 they made a playoff run. 2017 they made a playoff run. In 2016 they made a playoff run. 2016 was the Story playoff run. They went all the way down to the regionals.
Yeah.
So West Hardin, they fought a Coleman Snail in a nail biter. 20-19 was the final there in favor of Coleman Snail. Friday night games, man, we got a host that went on, but I'm going to kick off. I'm going to talk about the Cold Spring game real quick, brief. Cold Spring started off the first half in fine fashion, running the ball. 28 unanswered points in the first half. Offense was ginning. Defense was doing a really good job. Kept Liberty's offense off the field. It was almost to the point midway, about 5 minutes into the second quarter, I told Christian, I was like, man, I said, that offensive line's wore down. They haven't had a break. You know, defense had forced a couple turnovers. Special teams forced a turnover on a kickoff and was able to get the ball right back. Cold Spring, I think 5 plays later, punched it in for another 6. But it was a tale of two halves in this game. Cold Spring looked like a fine old machine in the first half. In the second half, Liberty made some adjustments. And when they come back out in the second half, Liberty shut the Cold Spring Trojans offense down.
Halftime adjustments.
Yeah, and that's what it was. And Liberty did a good job in the second half coming out after halftime. They made some adjustments offensively. They went from a pro set offense to a pistol, set another back next to the quarterback, give them some options, give them some blocking in that running game.
Yeah.
What I will credit Cold Spring's defense to throughout the night, they never give up a long ball downfield. All the completed passes, all 4 of them, were short completions within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. And that is really promising for me, one, going into this week against Splendora with the gunslinger of a quarterback that Splendora has. But yet, 2, as young as what our secondary is, to be able to defend the pass and downfield, that really tells a lot for me for the Cold Spring Trojans defense and how they're going to be down the road. Now, giving up 21 unanswered points in the second half, that's another story.
Yeah.
Coach Rydell didn't make the adjustments that I felt like needed to be made. Once he's seen that pistol style, it's like he didn't have anything to counter that, right? He was running a 3-4 defense and the 3-man front, Caden Barton, and I'm trying to remember the other 2 boys' names, but they did a good job, got some pressure on the quarterback whenever he was dropping back to pass. But the running game is what put Liberty within 1 score of being able to win that football game. Luckily, Trojans was able to force a 3-and-out late in the game, retain possession with under a minute left, and was able to eat the clock up and go home with the victory in Liberty last Friday night.
How much passing are you seeing from Cold Spring?
Very little.
Yeah.
There's not much pass protection. We did complete 1 pass downfield to Jaden Sparks. It was about a 12-yard pass from Luke Monroe. Jaden,
I get it if you get up, big to start the game, you probably don't need to throw the ball downfield. But I just wonder, with that offense, you probably don't want to show it too early, and especially in the first game of the season. So
correct, and that is, and now Coach Stanley was not available at the game; he was out of town. As many people know now, Coach Stanley's dad was in Vegas last week and went hiking up in Mount Charleston, and Coach Stanley left on Wednesday to go to Vegas, and he got up there and was helping in the search and rescue efforts, and they exhausted their search and rescue efforts on Sunday. They completed their search and rescues on the trailhead that they were in and concluded the search, unable to locate Coach Stanley's father. So keep his family in your thoughts and prayers as we roll into tonight. And as I have been, for the past week, I've been knowing about this since last Tuesday, and been kind of keeping it under my hat. But it's been released via social media and stuff. It's out there, and so I will talk about it briefly. And but keep the Stanley family in your prayers. Is a lot of unanswered questions for those.
Yeah, that's a tough way to come back the next week to your job and try to concentrate on something that's probably not your number one priority. And like you say, Cold Springs got a pretty big challenge coming up this week. A bigger school and one that's just down the road, and one that would probably like to get another victory under their belt after defeating Cleveland last week.
And yeah, Splendora, they definitely would like to see catch another W. Looking at the score in that Splendora game, and I kind of look at that, and Splendora and Cleveland, matter of fact, I'll give you the final as soon as I see it. Sitting here, it was 24-21 was the final there. Yeah. Defensively, Cleveland, I feel like they were pretty evenly matched, the two teams. I did talk to Telemundo, the quarterback. I've talked to his dad a couple times this week, as I've known them for a long time, and I was talking to Roland, and Roland was letting me know that there was 3 touchdowns that were called back. And but in that breath, he was talking about how horrible the refs were, but yet in the same conversation with where we were, he said they were called back for illegal men downfield. So I don't see where bad ref has to do with the illegal man downfield.
That'd be pretty rough.
So, but I guess eliminate the illegal men downfield. You add 3 more scores. He threw for that Filomeno kid. He threw for Harrison, is his name. Threw for 159 yards, I believe it was. He was 9 for 11 in the air with a couple touchdowns. So, it's going to be interesting to see him as I've watched him grow up and watch him at the helm. He started last year for Splendora, played 6 games, had 1,150 yards on the season passing when he went out with a broken femur, or fibula, excuse me.
And he's been behind the center the last couple of years from what I remember just from Livingston games.
Yes. So going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. We'll talk about it, this Splendora Cold Spring game, a little bit more when we get down to the pick'ems tonight. So another game you was at, the Livingston Lions football game, and we were going to jump into it with time left in this first segment. We're going to kind of end it a little bit early and then jump into talking about the Livingston Lions game this last week. And
it may just take 30 seconds.
Well, I mean, if you want to roll with it, we can roll with it. Let's talk about the Livingston Lions.
Well, just to get started, wasn't the best week. They came into a week not really knowing what to expect. You've got an Episcopal team that really didn't get a whole lot of scrimmage time. They second week of scrimmages, they didn't even get off the bus because of lightning. Mm-hmm. And so you didn't really have a lot of tape on them. I think Coach Vanover told me that both teams had each other's tape from Vider from the past year, and that's a lot of what they were going off of, just trying to get recognized formations and packages, things like that. And so what turned out to be was not such a great showing for Livingston. 42-7 the final there, and it probably wasn't that close. It started out 35-0, and I guess when we come back from break, I can get into the game a little bit and say what happened. But Lions are certainly looking for a turnaround in week 2.
We're going to take a break here at the Bullet Grill House pregame show. Here on 102.3 The Eagle and AM 1440 The Score. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the second half right after this.